Before TikTok, before FaceTime, before the blue bubble versus green bubble debates, there was one phone that ruled the world: the T-Mobile Sidekick. If you were a teenager in the 2000s, this wasn't just a phone, it was your identity. You didn't just text on it, you lived on it. And if you didn't have one, you probably developed sticky fingers just to feel included. The Sidekick era wasn't just about communication, it was about belonging. Let's rewind to 2002 when the first Sidekick, known as the Danger Hip Top, dropped. Designed by Danger Inc. and powered by T-Mobile, the Sidekick flipped the entire phone market. Literally. That swivel screen wasn't just functional, it was iconic. You'd flick it open, the screen would snap into place, and you'd feel like the coolest person in the room. But it wasn't until 2006, with the release of the Sidekick 3, that things really exploded. It had a music player, a 1.3 megapixel camera, expandable memory, and Bluetooth, all luxuries at the time. And then there was the Dwyane Wade Edition, the ultimate status symbol. White body, gold trim, D Wade's logo on the back. If you had that phone, you weren't just texting, you were flexing. The Sidekick became the official phone of 2000s youth culture. Celebrities had them: Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan, Soulja Boy, Kim Kardashian. But the real influence came from high school hallways. Teenagers turned the Sidekick into a fashion accessory. You'd clip it on your jeans or pull it out mid-lunch like it was a statement piece. It was the first phone that made you feel like you were part of a movement. And that's what brands figured out. Teenagers drive the trend market. Just like how everyone has an iPhone now, back then, everyone had a Sidekick. If you pulled out a flip phone or a Nokia brick, people looked at you sideways. You weren't part of the culture unless that screen swiveled. And that sound, that signature click, was unmistakable. Even when students tried to text in class under their hoodies, teachers would hear that swivel and just shake their heads. The Sidekick wasn't just trendy, it was educational in a weird way. The QWERTY keyboard changed everything. Kids learned to type fast, like lightning fast. Some could hold a full conversation under their desk without ever looking at the screen. That skill carried into adulthood. A whole generation of teenagers accidentally became professional level typists, thanks to AIM and after-school gossip. And speaking of AIM, forget texting. AOL Instant Messenger was the real lifeline. Your username was everything. XX Baggoutif XX or Baller for Life 23. It was your identity online. AIM on the Sidekick was basically iMessage before iMessage. You'd get home, log in, and that little door opening sound meant your crush was online. It wasn't just communication, it was community. Now, the Sidekick had a few evolutions, and each one had its own moment. Sidekick 3, 2006, the classic D Wade Edition, the one everyone remembers. Sidekick LX, 2007, came with a sleeker design, better screen, and that bright blue backlight that felt futuristic. Sidekick Slide, 2007, smaller, more compact. It slid instead of swiveled, but it never quite hit the same. Sidekick 2009, the final form, a sharp OLED display, GPS, video recording, and that smooth black and metal finish. But by the late 2000s, the smartphone era was approaching. The iPhone and Android came in swinging, and suddenly the Sidekick's full keyboard started looking like yesterday's news. Let's be honest, the Sidekick was built for the Myspace generation. The mirror selfie with your Sidekick in hand, that was the profile picture. It didn't matter that the camera was only 3.2 megapixels. It wasn't about the quality, it was about the vibe. Showing the phone in the photo was the flex. You didn't have Instagram stories, but your AIM away message said it all. BRB, out getting tipsy emoji, or if you know, kiss-a-licky. That was social media back then. Mysterious, simple, and somehow way more personal. By 2010, the Sidekick era came to a close. T-Mobile tried to revive it with Android software, but the magic just wasn't the same. The swivel sound faded away, the AIM servers shut down, but what remained was the memory and the legacy. Because before we were addicted to scrolling, we were addicted to connection. And the Sidekick gave us that in the purest form. One flip, one click, one message at a time. It didn't just change phones, it changed teenage culture. And in a world obsessed with the newest thing, that era will ever be blessed. If you had a Sidekick, drop your old AIM username in the comments. And if you didn't, welcome to the history of one of the coolest eras in tech.